Hi, and welcome back to 30-Day Trials, where I try anything and everything for 30 days. In this video, it's Brainzyme versus Neura. But before I get to that, some of you may have noticed that I've gained quite a bit of muscle since the last video, and I'm about 20 days into my next 30-day trial. So if you want to know how I've gained so much muscle in such a short amount of time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss the next video. Alright, let's get to it. Nootropics, smart drugs, whatever you want to call them, they really do work. I really do wish I had discovered nootropics way back in my school days. For their clarity, the calmness, the quietness, the intense focus. Those are just some of the things that you should expect from a good nootropic. But as I said in my last video, nootropics only get you in the right frame of mind. What you do with that calmness, that quietness, and that focus is still up to you. For the last 30 days, I tested out Neurocognitive's Zone and Neurocognitive Clarity to see how they hold up against my favorite, Brainzymes Focus Elite. As dietary supplements go, all these nootropics are vegan and vegetarian friendly, so they should be okay for almost everybody, no matter your dietary restrictions. Both Clarity and Zone come in tubular containers with sticks of powder neatly packed into them. They both contain 20 sticks of the drug, which Neura says is a 4-week supply. I suppose that they expect the user to only use the drug 5 days a week during periods that require better mental performance. It was for this reason that I tested out both Zone and Clarity, because I like to be focused 7 days a week. And so I used Zone on 5 of the 7 days and Clarity for 2 days a week for the last 4 weeks. Zone is purported to provide a sustained, calm, smooth boost of mental energy. It is designed for people engaging in demanding mental or physical activity, so it should help you think and react faster. It should be noted that Zone does contain natural caffeine, about 200 milligrams per stick, whereas an average cup of coffee has 60 to 80 milligrams. And so this might be something to consider if you're trying to quit or stay away from caffeine. In fact, there was one day where I took Zone 40 minutes before my evening workout, and I just couldn't get to sleep that night, not at my usual time. So if you're going to use Zone, try not to take it too late in the day. I must say though that the caffeine in Zone does not make you feel jittery at all. It's a very smooth boost of mental energy that you do feel throughout the day. A quick side note, I did have a hangover one day, after a night of a few drinks and a few antics. And after taking Zone in the morning, it cleared up my mind. So that's not something that they say the drug is good for, but just to let you know, I did find that Zone does improve reaction speed. I only tested it out on mental and not physical activities, but I would assume that if your brain is reacting faster, then your body would too. I'm not a boxer or anything, but I think it might give you a competitive edge if your brain is able to process the information that's coming at you a lot quicker. While on it, I did find myself answering questions a lot quicker, and that nearly got me into a little bit of trouble at work because I'm not usually the guy that kind of fires responses quickly back at people, but I started becoming that guy because Zone really does fire up your brain. It's like all cylinders are just kicking away, and there were times where I just fired back a response a little too quick without thinking about what I was saying. And sometimes I can be a bit rude, but that's not Zone's fault. That's a personal thing. So yeah, be careful. In terms of the type of thinking you get on Zone, it is good, but it's not as good at calming you down as Brainzyme is. You do feel calmer, but it's just not on that same level, of which you can understand because it's actually trying to fire up your brain, so it's helping you think quicker. So in reality, it's fighting itself. but it is good for what it does. It's just not as calming as Brainzyme is. But this is where clarity comes in. Clarity is what I would call the Brainzyme alternative. It is purported to promote memory, focus, mood, creativity, mental agility, and endurance. As I said before, I was only taking this 2 days a week on the days that I was not supposed to be using Zone. In all honesty, I found this drug to be a slightly weaker version of Brainzyme Focus Elite. It works, but it's just not as potent as Brainzyme. I did find myself getting slightly distracted after lunchtime, and the effects started to wear off from then on. Whereas with Brainzyme, there was a definite quietness of the mind for about 8 hours of the day. Brainzyme is taken in capsule form, whereas the Neura products are mixed with water and you drink them. So if you don't really like taking capsules, then Neura is probably a better bet because you can just mix that up with water and just drink it. But when it comes to the taste, the flavors do leave something to be desired. But this does not take away from their effectiveness. So what's the verdict? I would give Neura a thumbs up for doing what it says on the tin. It does wake the mind up and improve reaction time. But if you're looking for a quieter, more relaxed feel, I would still go with Brainzyme over Neura's Clarity. Clarity does work, but I think Brainzyme just has the edge over it. It's just a little more potent, and you feel that, you actually do feel that extra quietness and that extra calmness coming from Focus Elite, that is. Clarity is still good. It still does the same thing, just at a weaker level. That's the only difference. If you're interested in reading more about these nootropics, I've left links down in the description so you can check them out. And if you want to know what I do in my next 30-day trial, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the next video. Anyway, until next time, stay in the zone.